What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Ask Alex, where this is the show where I take your questions and answer them here on this show. And today we have a treat for you guys. Not only do I have my co-host Jeremy, we have another special guest. But before we introduce that special guest, Jeremy, how are you doing today?
Alex, what's up, guys? I got my orange drink, got my iPad, and I'm looking forward to another show. We got some fun questions to talk about today.
Awesome. And our special guest that we have today is no other than Ian Elliott Carter from The Controversy. How are you doing today, Ian?
Hey, man, I'm on that too, brother. I got to quench my thirst with some of that Rona, but the good Rona, not the bad Rona. Appreciate you having me on, brother. Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Anytime, man, anytime. But yeah, man, we got some interesting topics for today's show. If this is your first time ever watching this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, then hit that bell right next to it. That way you get all the notifications of every time we're releasing a video here on my YouTube channel. And if you want your question or topic on my show, all you guys have to do is just send me an email, guys, at theaskalexshow@gmail.com. That's the askalexshow@gmail.com. If you send me your question or topic, we'll be more than happy to answer it. Now we have 3 different perspectives on today's show, so it's going to be kind of fun. I can't wait to dive into it. So let's go ahead and jump into the first question of the day. And the first question, I'm sorry, my questions were kind of refreshed on me. I don't know how that happened. My first question comes from a Larry Bond. And he writes, "Hey Alex, so San Diego Comic-Con has been canceled due to the virus. This is the first time in 50 years that this event has been canceled. With San Diego Comic-Con canceling, do you think more major events in the summer will be canceled?" Well, thank you for your question, Larry. So if you guys don't know, literally a couple days ago, San Diego Comic-Con announced that they would be canceling Comic-Con the first time in 50 years. Comic-Con was supposed to come out by the end of July. And, and again, I don't like to talk about world things that happen on here, but, if you guys been noticing that this virus is starting to take us through another wave of craziness, and a lot of our officials are not doing the things that they're supposed to be doing. So at the end of the day, something like, Comic-Con, although it's a thing that I've never been to San Diego Comic-Con, it's 100,000 people gathering. Personally, if I was in charge of something like that, given the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic, it would be irresponsible for me to hold an event like that, knowing that there could be potential danger with that. So I understand why they're doing that. I also understand why people are upset. People are at home. They want to do stuff. They were looking forward to the summer. So I get it. I get that they're upset about Comic-Con being canceled. But at the end of the day, it was a necessary thing that needed to happen. To answer the second part of the question, do I think most of our summer events after Comic-Con will be canceled? Bruh, I kind of knew that when they canceled the NBA. I knew that when they canceled E3. I kind of knew that when they canceled South by Southwest. I was actually planning on going to South by Southwest. Couldn't go to that. So, I mean, even here in Orlando, they moved MegaCon to June 4th, but they just canceled San Diego Comic-Con, the biggest Comic-Con in the world. I seriously doubt MegaCon is going to stick around in June. So I'm not going to that either. So, for me personally, it's not that surprising. But Jeremy, what do you think of this new development of San Diego Comic-Con being canceled within the first 50 years?
I think all 3 of us can attest to the fact that if there's like one place that's going to continue to have a convention and just ride this thing out, regardless of the fact that everybody's going to get coronavirus, it's going to be Florida, right?
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Jacksonville's opening our beaches back up already. And, there's a discussion to be had about that. However, specifically to this, I mean, Alex, you touched on a whole lot of the things that I was going to say. E3, that was a very telling sign that these large-scale conventions aren't going to be a thing. Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle had a comedy stand-up special over in New Orleans at the Smoothie King Center, and they were obviously had to cancel that. I went and pulled up a list of all of the major events and concerts and conventions that got canceled, and it's endless. There's no reason for me to even read it. It's hundreds and hundreds of different things everywhere, from the tech world to music, entertainment. Theaters are shut down. There's no way that we can have these massive gatherings when you can't have people closer than 6 feet in space. From what I understand, I've never been to Comic-Con, but from what I understand, it's like you're packed in there like tin sardines. Like, it's shoulder to shoulder constantly, and you're just kind of being shoved through the vendor floor. And like, it's something I've always wanted to do as well. But this is the kind of environment that is completely the wrong thing to be doing right now. So when you said the NBA, that was another very telling sign. We've got Vince McMahon here in Florida, who is still able to have wrestling matches.
I find that odd.
It's odd. It's odd. But, this is all left to governors of each individual state. There's no federal mandates that anybody has to follow. But it's bad optics to allow something like this to happen in your state. So, yeah, unfortunately, I feel like the summer of 2020 is going to pretty much be a bust.
Ian, what do you think about the development of Comic-Con being canceled and all the other future summer events as well?
Well, to tell you the truth, I would have been honestly more surprised if they would have kept going on. So it doesn't surprise me like it was what you guys said. And piggyback a little bit what Jeremy said, he mentioned the whole Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan stand-up that was in New Orleans. I actually had tickets for that, and I actually had to, me and my homeboy, we had to cancel that, and that was on my bucket list. Always wanted to see Dave Chappelle live, and then this happens. So yeah, I'm not really happy about that, and I do agree that if anybody wants to do it first, though, it would be Florida.
Yeah,
I 100% agree, because they are doing the beaches and stuff like that. All three of us know the Florida people and the vibe, so we get one thing. I have not been to a San Diego Comic-Con. That also is on my bucket list, but I've been to a Tampa Comic-Con, and it's very, very tight, as well as you guys would know from some of the Comic-Cons you've been to. A lot of people not wearing deodorant, a lot of touching with other people. The only positive thing about these is there is a lot of masks, so I'll give that. But other than that, it's just a festation for negativity when it comes to the virus, and it's inevitable if that was to happen. So I get it. It's upsetting, but it's understandable. We shouldn't be really like over the top mad, because at the end of the day, they'll be next year, hopefully, if we don't die.
I mean, Ian and Jeremy raised a good point. I mean, it's not surprising. And like I said, I've been to MegaCon. I went on the Saturday. Saturday is their biggest day. There's literally over 10,000 people there, either in cosplay or just regular, in regular clothes. Like Ian said, people are not wearing deodorant. People are on top of each other, especially if you're going to take pictures with celebrities. It's literally hell. Like, it can be hell if you're not constantly moving. So I understand why they're doing what they're doing, but what do you guys think? Jump into the comment section below and let me know your thoughts about why they canceled Comic-Con this year. Let's go ahead and jump into the next question, which comes from a Perry Brown. And she writes, "Hey Alex, there are rumors that the Venom 2 trailer will be coming out soon. Do you think we'll see the new Venom trailer by the end of the month? And do you think that it's a smart move to release a new trailer during this pandemic?" Well, thank you for your question, Perry. So what Perry's referring to, literally, it's been reported on certain websites. None of the really major trades are really reporting on it. But certain websites are basically saying that Sony is planning on releasing a Venom 2 trailer showing, I guess, the next chapter of the Venom movie. If you guys have been following me for a while, I was not a huge fan of the first one. So personally, other to see Carnage, I really don't care, to be honest with you guys. I really don't give a damn. And this is nothing against like the actors and the crew involved. But like I said, Venom, the first movie was not that great of a film for me. What's going for this movie, for me at least, is Carnage and Andy Serkis directing. So for me, I am somewhat excited, but I don't have my hopes up. To answer the second part of the question, do I think this is a smart move? Absolutely not. I think this is terrible, because here's the thing. There are movies that are slated to come out in July. We don't know if we're going to the movies in July. To be honest with you, I don't think we're going back to the movies probably till maybe October, November, maybe December. Venom 2 was supposed to come out, I believe, in the October, November route. If Sony is smart, if they're smart, they need to reschedule. In my opinion, they need to reschedule. However, if they choose to put out a trailer to build up this false hype, knowing that we could potentially be in a second wave of this craziness, that's on them. But, personally, that's how I feel about it. Jeremy, what do you think about the concept of a new Venom trailer coming out? And do you think this is smart to release one during this time?
No, it's not smart to release it during this time. Maybe you guys can tell me, have you seen any movie trailers? Like, I don't feel like I've seen a movie trailer since it started.
Aside from Netflix movies, no.
Yeah, sure. And we saw some promotional stills from the movie Dune, which is smart because you're not having to put all of this money into the marketing to put out expose and like Vanity Fair or whatever, where it costs a whole lot to push a trailer, especially when there's a lot of airtime. Like, a lot of people are tuned in right now. It would cost a lot to run a trailer. I feel like the leak that came out about 2 weeks ago basically said that somebody's seen the trailer. And what they say is that it begins with the logos and then it opens in San Francisco. We hear voiceover saying a new hero protects the city. Next, we see a scene of children dressed in Halloween costumes in a large house. Cletus Cassidy opens the door and gives them candy. Apparently half of his face is the symbiote. And anyways, it's very Cletus-centric, this trailer is. And it doesn't sound legit to me. It was written in Russian, and so the translation doesn't exactly line up. When I read it at first, I was like, man, that's just really bad writing. But then I realized somebody it's not their first language wrote it up. But it feels like fan fiction. I'm not real sure. I don't know why the trailer would have leaked that far ahead of time. However, there's a still image right here that I'm looking at, and it does look like, I don't know, I'm curious. When you said, Alex, like, I'm not really stoked for this movie, I really do like the symbiotes, and I really like Maximum Carnage, the storyline back in the day. However, I just feel like Riot was basically Carnage anyways.
Exactly.
And Venom and Riot are pretty much the same. So, like, I feel like I've seen whatever cool they could show me already, but I'm a really big fan of Tom Hardy and Woody Harrelson, so just hoping it's great.
Yeah, me too. I just feel like it's going to be the same thing. Like, if you saw Venom 1, it was a one big slimy battle between Venom and Riot. But, what do you think, Ian? Do you think this is a smart move for them to release a new trailer, or are you looking forward to Venom 2?
Listen, I'm gonna agree and disagree with a lot of things you guys said. One, I'm going to agree 100% with what you said, Alex, about the first one. Was not a fan. I not realize for people, but it was just kind of bland for me. I am skeptical, and I do like Andy Serkis. I do like Tom Hardy, and I'm a huge fan of Woody Harrelson. So I am excited for the next one. But I am skeptical, like I just said, because I was not a big fan of the first one as well. I'm going to disagree with both of you guys, though. I do think they should drop the trailer. And this is why. I'm bored. I'm a nerd. I love content that breaks down trailers. I'm one of those nerds that does that crap. Give me something to do. I don't care if you're uploading the movie. Of course, the movie's not going to happen. I probably agree with you guys. It's probably not going to be October until November or something like that, like when Black Widow comes out in November, I believe. So it's not going to come out anytime soon. Come on. Give us some content. Give us something. We are bored at the house. We can only watch so much porn on Netflix. We need something we need something to just, something new, something to analyze, something to just theorize and stuff like that. So I'm for it if they want to drop it.
That's a really good point, man. I actually agree with what you're saying from that perspective. From the studio side, maybe not so much. From the
that was a selfish take. I'm with you, man. Side, different.
Yeah. Well, that's actually an interesting take, because you know what? I am kind of bored. I would love to see that too. But from a studio perspective, if I'm running a studio like Sony that's already struggling with some of their content, I personally would not put that out. That's just me. But, what do you guys think? Do you guys want to see a Venom 2 trailer? Do you guys think that it's too early or too soon to put one out? Do you think it's a smart move? Jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. And, we have an interesting last question today. Normally, we do have 4 questions, but now, since we didn't get that many this week, I'm going to do this last question. And this question came to me about a week and a half ago, and it was actually a really cool question that I wanted to address. So it comes from Lee Samuel, and he writes, "Hey Alex, do you think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has a better chance of a franchise than Power Rangers?" Well, thank you for your question, Lee. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You guys have already seen my take and Jeremy's take about Power Rangers, okay? There's no need for me to continue to reiterate that. If you want to see that, you can definitely check out the previous episode of Ask Alex and some other stuff that I've labeled about Power Rangers. The question that he's implying, does TMNT has a better chance as a movie franchise? Well, here's the thing. It was already a movie franchise. Back in the day, they put out 3 movies that were successful. Then later on in 2007, they put out a movie called TMNT, an animated Ninja Turtles movie. It didn't make a lot of money. It broke even, but it didn't make a lot of money. But it made enough money to, I guess, reboot the franchise. And then we got the 2014 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. That movie I actually really liked from a realistic perspective. The second one, not so much. I hated Out of the Shadows. Out of the Shadows I thought was dumb. But however, even if you look at Out of the Shadows, that movie didn't do well. I think it broke somewhat even or lost some money. That first iteration did well. It had, I think it was a $90 million budget and made over $400 million worldwide. So my thing is that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has been proven to be a good franchise. Not necessarily on the level of a Marvel or maybe a DCEU, but it's proven to make some money to continue making more movies. Power Rangers has not done that. You look at the box offices of Power Rangers, each individual movie, except for the first one, didn't make money or break even. So you have to keep that in mind. And also, I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is going the more kid-friendly Nickelodeon route. So if they were to do another iteration of the Turtles, I feel as though they would do that kind of route, a kid-friendly route, than the more serious, grounded route, since they've already tried that and it didn't necessarily pan out. But, what do you guys think? Jeremy, do you think that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has a better chance of being a franchise than Power Rangers? Or am I just being crazy again?
No. I mean, you're 100% right. You can't argue with the things that you can quantify. They were both franchises. They're both long-running, beloved franchises. Mm-hmm. The lowest earning Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film was the 2000 one that you referenced a minute ago, and it made about $95 million in the worldwide box office, off of a production budget of about $35 million. So it made a little bit of money. Mm-hmm. It actually made $15 million more than the top grossing Power Rangers movie. So if you're just looking at it in terms of viability, which of these movies is going to make the most money? I mean, far and away, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are a more powerful IP. They're more recognizable to, I don't necessarily want to say to people in general, but to movie audiences, because we have 6 theatrical release Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, as opposed to 3, which were the Power Rangers film. Your top grossing, the most that a Power Rangers movie made, is $85 million. That's nothing. That's a lifetime gross. That's not opening weekend. That's not theatrical run. That's what it's made to date, and that is that's bad. And then Turbo, Power Rangers movie, which was released in '97, didn't even make $9 million. It made $8.4 million on a
$9 million budget.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, I mean that like you said, we've harped on this. We've talked about Power Rangers, but I do want to say that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a franchise that I actually really loved growing up.
Me too.
I didn't have the Power Rangers, but I had almost every single Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figure you could possibly collect. So I'd be interested in another Turtles movie. I actually liked both of the previous ones. While they're obviously not perfect movies, you can't expect a movie about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to be Citizen Kane. So like, I was fine with it. I'm curious to see if they do end up making another movie.
Yeah, I think that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, even though it has a proven track record of being a franchise, I think that's the best way to go. If I were to bet on either of the two, it would be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But what do you think, Ian? Do you think that TMNT has a better chance of being a franchise than Power Rangers?
I think it's a no-brainer. I don't know what your opinions were about Power Rangers, but I'm glad it sounds like I'm not in the minority on this one. I liked them when I was 5, but I feel like Power Rangers is a dated franchise. Like, most adults are not big fans of them. They're like, okay, let's let the kids have it. Exactly. Now, when it comes to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man, that is a childhood love and adults love it. It's more universally loved, I feel. Yeah. I feel like there's no date on that. That's why you guys gave up the numbers. That's why the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles always sell more, because it gets that nostalgia feeling more than the Power Rangers when it comes to your adults and you watching it with your children. I didn't hate the last Power Ranger movie. I thought it was actually okay, but if I was to choose one, though, it's hands down going to be Ninja Turtles. There's a lot of complaints about the modern ones, which I agree with Jeremy. Like, you got to turn your brain off in some of these movies. They're mutant turtles doing ninja crap. So, but no, I've always kind of like a Fantastic Four movie. No matter how bad these Ninja Turtle movies come out, how quality and how much I dislike them, I'm always rooting for them. I'm always like, this is a franchise I would love to see, and I'm always rooting for it. My son, he's a fan of both of them, but I guarantee you right now, if he came up in this room and I asked him that question, he would go with Ninja Turtles every time.
Yeah, and you know what? Ian and Jeremy raised a really good point that, Turtles, there's something about the lore of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that attracts all forms of audience, whether you're young, old, big or small. It doesn't matter. Like, for me personally, when I heard that they were rebooting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in 2014, instantly excited. I took pictures with the mannequins and stuff like that. It was so cool. And just to think that these are turtles who are trained by a rat, like that is just, in a sense, in my opinion, that's more appealing. And I know that sounds weird. It's more appealing to see that than to see teenagers who don't understand anything turn into superpowered Power Rangers and fighting these little fake monsters and then beating them again in Megazord, big robots that ironically can beat up the enemy, but they don't destroy anything in the city. That doesn't make no sense to me. That makes no sense to me whatsoever. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has a better chance of being a franchise than Power Rangers? Do you think that, all of our points are great or good? Let us know in the comment section below. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Ask Alex. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you get all the updates every time we're releasing an episode of Ask Alex. Jeremy, where can we find you on social media?
First of all, you guys are the best. I always appreciate doing this. It's a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys that are checking out Momentum Media for sending in fantastic questions. Make sure to keep them coming. I apologize about my Venom take. I swear it was a lot better in my head than it ended up coming out of my mouth. But if you want to check me out, follow me at Jeremy B. Terrible on social media. Movies Are Terrible on YouTube. And I also have a personal YouTube channel called Jeremy G. Branch. So make sure to head over there and check it out. Let's talk some movies.
Awesome. Ian, where can we find you on social media?
Well, you can find me on Instagram, I_controversy, which I know it's a made-up word because I'm very creative like that. You can follow me there, or you can go to youtube.com/thecontroversy. Don't type it in the bar because for some reason it doesn't show up, so just do that and you'll find me. And I got a lot of controversial stuff on my channel as well, just like Alex does. And I apologize for nothing. So
Oh man, I want to thank my awesome panelists for being on the show. Guys, this is becoming a regular thing, man. I'm going to have Jeremy and Ian on more often. This makes this show so much fun. And also, you guys sending your questions makes this so much fun as well. So thank you again. I'm very appreciative during this time. Please like, comment, and subscribe to all of our channels. We do appreciate it. Go ahead and support us on Patreon. And some new things are coming out on my YouTube channel. Can't wait to start promoting that stuff, which involves Ian and Jeremy and other YouTube creators as well. So please check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And as always, you have a blessed day.